The noble criminal Xing-Yue and his 3 assistants stand guard over the poor people and make sure they are not robbed by the rich. One day, the 4 intercept a shipment of silver that was intended for starving peasants, but was stolen by the treacherous minister Liu Ya-Se. But the villain's men poisoned those for whom the money was intended, and put the blame for the disappearance of the cargo on the members of the Su family, who were responsible for the escort. Shi and his companions decide to intervene and bring Liu, who dreams of becoming an emperor himself, to justice. At one time South Korea was stable supplier of plots and stories for Chinese cinema, but at some point relations between the countries soured, and the mainland authorities ordered to minimize this one-sided cultural exchange. South Korean films and TV series were no longer purchased for screening, and Chinese filmmakers were strongly advised to stop remaking Korean hits. In recent years, however, this moratorium has gradually lost its relevance, so that China has once again begun to actively borrow ideas from its eastern neighbors. Tricksters is a remake of the 2016 Korean hit Bonggi Kim Seon-dal, which earned $15 million in its native country. However, the Chinese authors took not much from the original movie, only the idea of 4 fair robbers, who try to con a powerful rich man. Tricksters copies the images of the 2 main characters of the 4, but puts them in an independent story, more common for Chinese cinema, where are mixed con movie, historical kung fu action and absurd comedy, seasoned with a little bit of steampunk. The latter is now one of the main trends in Chinese online cinema. Thus, in Tricksters you can see a lot of mechanisms, from frankly idiotic to contrived and complex, and one of the main villain's handmaidens controls a tall puppet marionette, which moves like a robot. Also among the villains there is a girl with a torn mouth and a gloomy savage who eats raw meat, and the authors can only be praised for such creativity. They sincerely try to entertain and surprise their audience. But at the same time there is nothing to surprise the viewer, except these external tricks. The plot moves forward predictably and the actors play stereotypical masks rather than voluminous flesh-and-blood heroes. Nevertheless, if you like all sorts of gimmicks like a medieval mechanical treadmill and appreciate absurd humor, in Tricksters you will surely find enough of all sorts of things to have fun for an hour and a half. As a bonus there is a good action, though it should be noted that although everyone fights everyone, only the actors playing the villains have combat training, so sometimes the movie makers have to cheat, using clever editing and camera tricks, cables and computer graphics. In online movies these are rarely of high quality, but in Tricksters they somehow look especially poor.